Hi, this is Olga at HighYa, and today I will be reviewing the Atomic Beam USA flashlight. The Atomic Beam USA is a ultra-bright, tough-grade tactical flashlight. It is claimed to be so bright and reliable it's used by US Special Forces. The Atomic Beam USA retails for $19.99 with free shipping and handling. It features a compact design with it being just under 6 inches long and weighing less than 1.5 pounds. It has an adjustable focus, 5 beam modes ranging from high, medium, low brightness, as well as SOS and strobe mode. It's made with tough grade aluminum, and it accommodates a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, which you would need to purchase for an additional $12.99. The Atomic Beam comes well packaged. It is built with a sturdy aluminum case. This flashlight requires 3 AAA batteries, which are not included and which would need to be installed by unscrewing the tail end of the flashlight and inserting the batteries into the battery cradle. The on and off button is also located on the end cap of the flashlight, and you can switch between the different beam modes by lightly pressing on that same button. The focus of the beam is adjusted by pulling both ends of the flashlight away from each other. Now, the Atomic Beam flashlight that I received came with some very minor scratches on the black aluminum, as well as inside around the LED light bulb. The website does claim that the Atomic Beam was made in the US. However, that is not entirely accurate because this flashlight was assembled in China and only some critical components inside the flashlight were actually made in the US. Now, the Atomic Beam USA claims that this flashlight is up to 40 times brighter than an ordinary flashlight. It also claims that it's shock resistant, water resistant, and withstands extreme temperatures. So let's get to testing this thing out. Here you can see the Atomic Beam in the dark, starting with the strobe mode, followed by SOS, then high, medium, and low brightness levels. The flashlight, of course, can also be zoomed in and out, and when fully zoomed out, it covers quite a large area. Now, I wanted to compare the Atomic Beam to the Bell & Howell tack light because they do look virtually identical. And if you haven't seen our review of the tack light, be sure to go and check that video out. With the exception of the brand markings and the different colored buttons, the flashlights look and feel exactly the same. The only noticeable difference was the ease with which the zoom function can be moved. The Atomic Beam zoom was very easily adjusted by moving the 2 ends of the flashlights away from each other. However, zooming in and out with the tack light was a lot more difficult and took a lot more effort. However, when testing these 2 flashlights in action, the difference could not be more obvious. Side by side with the Atomic Beam on the left and the tack light on the right, it's pretty apparent that the tack light is much more bright. Here again, you can see the 2 flashlights side by side in their various modes with strobe, SOS, high, medium, and low brightness settings. And just to really drive that point home, here is the light emitted by the tack light, followed immediately by the light provided by the Atomic Beam, which at this distance is barely visible. When testing its water resistance, the Atomic Beam performed just fine when submerged into water. I left the flashlight turned on in the water for about 5 minutes. When I removed the flashlight, I could only see small amounts of water that seeped through the bezel and into the lens. However, when I removed the battery casing, the flashlight was completely dry inside. Keep in mind, however, that while this flashlight might be water resistant, the company never claims that it is waterproof, so I probably wouldn't leave this flashlight in the water for a very long period of time. Now, the makers of the Atomic Beam claim that this flashlight can withstand extreme temperatures. They even throw this in boiling oil just to show and demonstrate how well it performs. Now, to test that claim, I held the atomic beam over a gas burner for a few minutes. And while initially the flashlight seemed to perform well, towards the end of my experiment, it actually turned off and stopped working. I wasn't able to use the on and off button to try to turn the flashlight back on, since the rubber material that the button is made of became very soft and actually fell into the flashlight. After letting the flashlight cool off and after taking it apart, as you can see, the heat melted the battery cradle and actually damaged the batteries. Now, what's interesting is that the heat also actually melted a part of the lens, and if you look closely enough, you can see that there are actually small bubbles that developed inside the lens. Now, with that experiment, I kind of destroyed the atomic beam, and while I could put it back together, I wasn't able to turn it on. Unfortunately, I was no longer able to do the ice test since the atomic beam no longer worked. Now I realize that a lot of these tests are pretty extreme and likely wouldn't happen in any real-world scenario. So to give a different perspective, here is what HighYa users had to say about the Atomic Beam USA. Currently, the Atomic Beam has a 2 out of 5-star rating on HighYa.com. Some of the complaints include a cracked lens when the flashlight was accidentally dropped, a flashlight that wouldn't turn on, a broken switch after just 1 week of use, the lens falling out completely, as well as slow shipping and extra unauthorized charges by the company. My bottom line is that the Atomic Beam USA didn't quite live up to its claims or the competition. When compared to a virtually identical flashlight that retails for the same amount, the Atomic Beam wasn't nearly as bright. Now, that fact alone would lead me to recommend the TacLight instead of this Atomic Beam USA flashlight. And of course, the Atomic Beam didn't seem to be quite as durable as it claims to be. It didn't perform very well in extreme heat, and while that might not be as crucial in everyday use, the amount of negative reviews serves as a pretty good indication that this probably isn't the best product on the market. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to HighYa on YouTube for more product testing and reviews just like this, as well as useful tips and information.